So right now, President Trump says a trade deal has been reached with South Korea as he attends a dinner with the nation's president right now, ahead of a big meeting with Chinese President Xi on Thursday, hoping to close some major deals there with the other second biggest economy in the world, including a commitment by China to curb the flow of fentanyl.
Do you anticipate being willing to lower the fentanyl-related tariffs?
Yes, I expect to be lowering that because I believe that they're going to help us with the fentanyl situation. We have to get rid of it. We have to stop it. China's going to be working with me. Okay. They're going to be working with me, and we're going to do something.
Joining us right now, former Deputy National Security Advisor KT McFarland. I believe the president could hand President Xi a map and say, I'll tell you exactly where the fentanyl is coming from, the ports it leaves and the ports it enters. And I think President Xi, if he pretends he can't stop it, is not telling the truth. So both sides know this, right?
Yeah. And look, they promised, the Chinese have promised to stop fentanyl trade. They promised President Obama. They didn't do it. They promised President Trump. They sort of did it. They stopped with the final finished product of fentanyl, and they only did the precursors. And then with President Biden, all bets were off. But the difference this time is that Kash Patel, our FBI director, is going to China. This is a first. America's never had an FBI director go to China. And we've also put indictments on companies and individuals involved in the fentanyl trade. So there may be some teeth in the enforcement of this now.
So far, this looks pretty impressive. Malaysia, we got a rare earth deal. With South Korea, looks like you have a trade deal. And with Japan, a pledge, at the very least, to spend more money on their own defense with a prime minister that looks as though they've been, they really see eye to eye on many issues. The president's relationship with this new prime minister seems really strong.
It almost jumped off, as you could see the pictures of the new prime minister. She's very like Trump. I mean, she's tough. She's Japan first. She's a conservative. She definitely believes in defense spending, carrying their own weight. And she's doing a really great job so far of bringing that whole region of Asia back into the sort of United States orbit. And if you look at Trump's bigger foreign policy around the world, what's he done? He's found key leaders in each region, whether it's Malaya in Argentina, whether it's Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia, Giorgia Meloni in Italy and Europe, and now the Japanese prime minister. And with all of these leaders, they're all like-minded, and they're all popular, and they're tough, and they're all very successful. He's forging kind of a new world relationship of United States foreign policy.
And you don't see him budging on Taiwan. That's going to be the big story in the Wall Street Journal today, and China always brings it up. Just, I want to get to Venezuela, but just what do you think the president will say when it comes to Taiwan?
He's not budging. He's not going to say, oh, we don't believe Taiwan's an independent country. That's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump he likes countries that help themselves, and the Taiwan is now going to increase its defense spending. I think he'll do what every president has wisely done, and that's to be quite ambiguous about it. We believe in one China, and then we don't go into any further details.
Unprecedented pressure on Maduro, the corrupt leader who unjustly stays in power despite losing an election with just 30 percentage points of the votes when the opponent got 70. And now the president's putting more pressure. Yesterday, the U.S. killed 14 alleged drug traffickers, 4 separate boat strikes. There were 6 prior to this. Have you ever seen, and you have such a rich personal history of Central and South America with various presidents, have you ever seen such focus on a renegade nation like Venezuela?
No, and the reason this is important is that we've ignored South America for an awful long time. We just sort of assumed everything was fine. But now what's happened in the whole region is that the communists, the cartels, and the Chinese are making great inroads. And so when President Trump now he's closed off the maritime drug trade route, and he's put American battleships and a destroyer in the region, a carrier in the region. We could use those to launch one-off maybe attacks and strikes against the drug labs. And that's perfectly legal. We did it with the Syrian chemical weapons in the first term. President Trump bombed the Iranian nuclear sites. This is not sending in the Marines. This is not getting involved in a big war. This is the United States dealing with enemies to the United States. And in addition to that, behind Maduro, there's a very strong opposition leader who, if, and that's not with the U.S. Marines, but if there was a regime change in that country, there's a very credible, powerful, potential Trump ally waiting in the wings as the new leader.
Who won the election? So won it flat out. And by the way, I love what Rick Scott said yesterday. Yeah. If I'm Maduro, I'm looking to punch my ticket to Russia or Iran before it's too late, and we'll see where that happens. KT McFarland, thanks so much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.